Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge.
There's only one way in Bilgewater. Mine.
As unpredictable as he is brutal, Gangplank reigns as Bilgewater's uncrowned king, through a mix of fear, violence, and cunning. Gangplank relishes the rare moments when some fool challenges him, going to war with pistol and blade to remind everyone the truth behind the tall tales.
The sea may be wicked, but I'm worse.
Gangplank's passive is Trial by Fire. On a moderate cooldown, Gangplank ignites his blade, causing his next melee attack to deal bonus damage, apply a true damage dot, and grant a brief burst of movement speed. Gangplank's Q is Parlay. He fires a shot from his pistol, dealing damage that can crit like a basic attack. Parlay also applies on hit effects like Red Buff and Static Shiv. Parlay plunders extra gold and refunds half its mana cost if it kills a unit. For each gold plundered by Parlay, Gangplank gains a Silver Serpent, which is an exclusive currency he can use at the shop to upgrade his ultimate. We'll get to that in a minute. Use Parlay in early laning to farm at a safe distance from any poke or encroaching junglers, while pocketing the extra gold as money in the bank. Remove Scurvy, Gangplank's W heals him and removes disabling effects. The more health he's missing, the more health he recovers. Whether facing crowd control, sustained damage, or vitamin C deficiency, all Gangplank has to do is eat an orange, and it's K. Powder Keg is Gangplank's E, and there's a bit of a minigame with it for the Saltwater Scourge and his opponents. When he uses Powder Keg, Gangplank tosses out a barrel with 3 hit points that tick down to 1 over a few seconds. If Gangplank last hits the barrel with a basic attack or parlay, it explodes, dealing the attack's damage including crit that ignores a percentage of enemy armor. The explosion slows anyone in the blast zone, and plunders gold if triggered by parlay. He gains barrel charges slowly, but can store several barrels for a battery of boom. Powder kegs can chain together if their explosion radii connect, although the damage doesn't stack. Basically, each additional barrel makes the area bigger. As a reward for exploding a barrel, Gangplank gains bonus movement speed and instantly refreshes his passive. But if an enemy last hits the keg, they'll disarm it with no explosion and pocket a few gold coins. Additionally, because they have other important barrel business to attend to, powder kegs will disappear after being stuck on one tick for 60 seconds. Keep in mind that powder kegs prime themselves faster with level. Later in the game, carefully placing one on the path behind you will let you parlay the barrel as you run, slowing your pursuers and reaching safety. Gangplank's ultimate is Cannon Barrage. When he ults, Gangplank calls on a ship to fire waves of cannonballs on a large area with global range, damaging and slowing enemies caught beneath the barrage. There are 3 upgrades Gangplank can purchase over the course of the game with the Silver Serpents from Parlay. First up is Death's Daughter, an enormous cannon that deals tons of true damage at the beginning of the ultimate. Second is Raise Morale, an upgrade that gives allies under the Avalanche of Iron additional move speed. And lastly, Fire at Will increases the ult's rate of fire, dealing extra damage. Remember that your ult gives you global presence. Even if you're in another lane, it's almost as if you're there in spirit. You can use Cannon Barrage to turn the tide of battle and potentially leave your enemies feeling extra salty. Practice makes perfect, and it's still true even if what you're practicing is looting and pillaging. Let's look at some examples of Gangplank in-game. More like game playing. Getting whacked upside the head with a flaming sword is a substantial chunk of damage, making Trial by Fire a critical part of Gangplank's ability to trade in lane. Here, Maokai initiates a fight just as Gangplank's passive comes up. Immediately after applying the burn, Gangplank explodes a powder keg, allowing the Dread Pirate a second blazing hit. Gangplank can be exceptionally good at zoning and poking champions with his barrels, especially anyone who needs to get into melee range to trade. Here, Gangplank places a barrel in front of the minion so that Maokai stays zoned. Rather than give up the lane dominance he's secured, Gangplank uses chain barrel explosions to harass the burly treant further and force him even farther back. Gangplank can unload surprising amounts of damage through an in and out fighting pattern. In this clip, Echo's looking to fight, so Gangplank starts by strategically moving in the opposite direction. When Echo misses the stun, Gangplank parlays a powder keg into a Death's Daughter-empowered cannon barrage and simply turns back around to clean up the kill. With Gangplank's seafaring background, it should come as no surprise that he easily clears waves as a split pusher. Placing a premeditated powder keg in the brush will allow him a snap combo with a second barrel if anyone comes to meddle with that split push. When challenged, he can use the slow and bonus movement speed from his barrels to escape. Needing further assistance, Remove Scurvy and Cannon Barrage provide the health and slows needed to reposition. As he searches for new opponents, he sets up several multi-keg chains to evade his pursuers. As deadly as the barrels can be, they're fragile. Enemies who are paying attention can easily disarm them, negating their strength and Gangplank's advantage. In this last clip, watch as Gangplank hides a barrel in the Razorbeak camp, out of range of his enemies. When a fight breaks out, the Saltwater Scourge casts a second barrel and shoots the first to chain the explosion. In the middle of the explosion, he finishes things off with a third barrel, securing a kill on Oriana and Sona. A rather powerful interaction.
Face me, swab!
Thanks for tuning in to the Gangplank Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel and leave us your comments just below the video.
I have a deficiency of cares.